Alright, here's a Turbo Grafx 16 game everyone should remember because it was packed in with the system when it launched in 1989. The game came with a comic book to, teach you a little bit more about the storyline, get us all excited about the game. Look at that artwork. Very simple storyline. You're playing as Keith Courage, whose planet is struck by a meteor bringing the BAD, or Beastly Alien Dudes, who want to take over the world. But as a member of NICE, the Nations of International Citizens for Earth, you want to defeat BAD and bring peace back to the world. Very simple storyline for a very simple game. Let's pop it in the Turbo Grafx 16 and check it out. Alright, so here we go. Like I said, you play as Keith Courage, and the first thing you're going to notice is that he moves really slowly. And the second thing you're going to notice is that you can go into these huts. Now this first hut, this is the lady that basically just gives you information on each level. But most of these huts are basically stores. And here you can buy weapons to soup up your character as you go through the game. And then here we have the nurse. She can heal you throughout the game. So as you notice, starting off, of course, I have no gold. 0 gold, but as you go through the game, you'll get money, and you'll be able to, buy things and soup up your character. Pretty strange game for the time. Now this game came out in 1988 in Japan for the PC Engine, and it was actually based off of a Japanese anime. And then, like I said, it came out over here as the pack-in title for the launch of the Turbo Grafx 16 in 1989. And here we can buy bombs. The bombs are basically your secondary weapon. You can throw them at bosses and they'll do more damage. So we get 30 bombs here. And every upper world has, these basic stores. And this is the upper world, which you start off in. And then when you get to the end of the upper world, you go to the underworld. You get inside this suit they call the Nova suit. Basically this big mech robot. And, well, here you have the ability to use the souped up weapons that you buy in the upper world. So in the upper world you heal your health, and you buy souped up weapons that you use here in the underworld when you're in this mech suit. You can take a lot of hits in this mech suit, which is pretty cool. It seems like maybe there's a lot of enemies at some times on the screen, but you can really take a lot of hits. People argue this isn't the best launching title for the Turbo Grafx 16. There were better launch games when the system launched that they could have used. But when I was a kid, I liked this game. I thought it was okay. But as you'll see later in this review, it's not by any means a perfect game. Now there I've just picked up a bomb upgrade, number 2, and there goes number 1. So you don't want to pick up everything that you find, because you can actually downgrade your weapons by picking up a lower number than what you have for the bombs. First boss fight like I said, you basically go upper world, underworld, and then back to the upper world, and back to the underworld. There's about 8 levels in this game, and of course, you've got to keep your mech character souped up in order to advance through the game. Once again, the nurse can heal you, but now she wants $400. Oh, I see how it is. They start you off with $200 and get you hooked, and then they bump up the price to $400. Once again, some platforming sections in the upper world. And here you'll see what you can do when you want to make money in the upper world. Like, you only get money in the upper world. When you kill enemies in the upper world, you get gold, you get your money, but you do not get money in the underworld. So you need to get as much money as you can here. But you can just go back and forth and just keep killing the same enemies over and over. And most of the time, they'll give you money. Now here I'm saving up for basically the first sword upgrade. So when we buy this sword, we'll be able to use it in the underworld. So now we have like the next level up of sword. It's a little bit longer and does a little bit more damage. Now your sword in the upper world never changes, as when you play as Keith Courage in the upper world. That sword is always the same, so you're only upgrading your stuff for the underworld. Now, in level 2 here, there's a few new enemies, but generally the levels look pretty similar, and that's the one problem with this game. It is repetitive. You know, 8 levels, they're basically just color changes, really. A lot of the levels look very similar, except the colors have changed around. You'll notice that in the upper world. Actually even more, basically just the color of the sky changes. And here's the next boss fight, and this one is so easy. I mean, it's over in like 2 seconds. I thought I was getting pummeled by him. So like I said, the first boss fight I think is actually a better boss fight than the second boss fight. And once again, we're gonna make money. These cats, what the heck they are, these weird Chinese cat things fall from the sky. And they give you tons of money here, so I mean, you can just rank up the money. It's just ranking in here. Oh, it's great. But, you know, you can take a little extra time in the upper world, like I said. Go back and forth and make your money. And I didn't manage to find the souped up sword in that level. I'm not sure if I missed it or if there wasn't one. Perhaps there wasn't one. So here we are in the underworld again. And like I said, kinda looks a lot like the last level, doesn't it? You know, except maybe some of the colors are a little bit different. Most of the same enemies. Now we have these alien head things, which are really annoying. And falling down to the third boss fight. I like this guy, he's kinda cool, he's like the Mad Hatter, throws these playing cards at you. I always thought those things in the background were creepy looking when I had this game. Like I said, I thought this game was pretty good at the time. 1989 when this game came out, and, you know, it was the first game for a new system. It wasn't an arcade game that you were familiar with, but it was an alright game. And, you know, I had a Turbo Grafx 16 before, you know, I had a Super Nintendo, obviously, and I actually sold the Turbo Grafx 16 when I got a Super Nintendo in about 1993. Once again, the money's just ranking in here in this upper world. Some more platforming bits. Hoo-hoo, that was a close one. And there we go. go. We're going to use our money once again to buy a souped up sword. $1,200. Stuff gets expensive fast, so I guess it seems like you're ranking in the money, but you will need it. And here we can see now there's a huge difference in the sword. It's a lot longer now. The only thing I don't like about the sword is the way he swings it almost straight out. You know, instead of coming over his head. So when stuff's coming from, you know, a 45-degree angle or dropping down on you, you can't really hit it with the sword. It'd be cool if you swung it, you know, from behind and over his head. And one more boss fight. If I can find him. Used to going left to right in video games, not always in Keith Courage. And didn't last too long on this boss fight. There we go. Keith Courage. Not a great game, but I like it.